All right, so you've signed up for the Toastmasters Speech Evaluator role, and maybe you've never done this before and you're not really sure what's to be expected, so now you're doing your YouTube research, or maybe you have done speech evaluations, but you're not sure if you're doing them correctly and you want to find out, or maybe you feel like you crush speech evaluations and you're great at this already, but you're a lifelong learner and you always want to see if you can raise the bar. Whichever of those buckets you fit into, I think this video is going to be very helpful because I'm going to talk about what a Toastmasters speech evaluation is and how you can make sure you're doing it not only correctly, but at an elite level. First off, if this is the first time that you've landed on my channel, welcome. I am stoked you're here. Make sure you subscribe because I do many other videos about all sorts of Toastmasters subjects. You can find those in my previous videos, and I will continue to do more Toastmasters content. And also, I have a lot of content on this channel about how to be a more impactful communicator. This is something I'm passionate about, and I am stoked to help you along with me on this journey. I actually have another video on my channel that is about a speech evaluation contest, and this video is necessary because it is a little bit different. And here's the key difference. A speech evaluation contest, which is part of the Toastmasters contest, most clubs participate at the club level and then at the area level and the division level and on and on and on. The key there is that is about you. It is about you, the evaluator. You are the one being judged, and therefore you do a couple of things through that process that are a little bit different than what you want to do at the club level during a normal meeting, because at the club level, as an evaluator, it's not about you. It's actually about the speaker, and you want to give that individual great feedback on what they did very well, but also things that they can improve upon, because that is one of the biggest benefits of Toastmasters, is that we have a chance to speak, but then be evaluated and learn where we can improve in our speaking skills to continue growing and bringing ourselves to the next level. The first thing to know about a speech evaluation is that it's 2 to 3 minutes, which isn't a ton of time, but it's enough time if you utilize it correctly. One thing I like to do is break down my speech evaluations into 4 sections. The first section is an introduction or a quick sentence or something from the speech that caught your attention or that nicely summarizes what the speech was all about. The second section is the strengths, the things that the speaker did very well. I usually aim to give minimum 2, but often 3 strengths, sometimes 4, that the speaker did very well. And these can be things like eye contact, body language, vocal variety, strong speech structure. All of these sorts of things can be incorporated as strengths. It's all about what you're observing. The third section is gifts, or areas that the speaker could improve upon. We call them gifts because it really is that. Even though it sounds like a negative, somebody saying, oh, Wade, you really should have done this better, that is a gift because that is an area I didn't realize perhaps that I was a little bit weak. And now if I can improve that and add that to all my existing skills, all right, I'm becoming a better speaker. And that's why we call them gifts. Usually I aim to give 1 or 2 gifts depending on the speech and the speaker's ability. And finally, and this is something that's important in the contest especially, that's often looked over, but I think it's important for any club evaluation, is a conclusion. It's wrapping that up. It's summarizing what all of the strengths were, and if that speaker incorporates the couple gifts along with those strengths, some encouraging words to wrap it up of they're going to do phenomenal and can't wait to hear more speeches by this individual. So while that is the structure of an evaluation, your work as an evaluator actually begins prior to that, because of course you have to be listening to the speaker and paying attention and probably taking notes so that you know what you're going to talk about during that evaluation. As I mentioned earlier, some of the things you're going to look out for, and sometimes you can write this on your evaluation sheet even before, is some key categories that we know are essential for public speaking. Things like, did the speaker maintain eye contact? How was their body language? What specifically was good? Were they fidgeting with anything? Did they have opportunities to use more vocal variety than they did? Did it transition smoothly, or was it a little bit disjointed? These are all questions you're going to be asking yourself in your head as the speaker is speaking and making notes on, so that when you give your evaluation, you're able to point out those things to the speaker. Now, one of the top mistakes I see in speech evaluations is the transition from second to third person. So second person is saying you, because you're going to be giving this evaluation in front of the speaker. So if the speaker's name is Sarah and Sarah's in the room, it is very tempting to say, Sarah, you did this very well, but your eye contact could have been a little bit stronger. But the thing we have to remember is that a speech evaluation isn't just for Sarah. It's actually for the entire club. So you want to use third person, which means Sarah's name. So instead, you would word it, when Sarah used body language, she was very effective. However, one thing that could make Sarah's next speech stronger is more effective eye contact, not looking at the floor when she's speaking, rather maintaining eye contact with the rest of the group. A lot of people will bounce back and forth. They will talk to the audience, and then they will talk directly to Sarah, and then back to the audience. And again, going back to the contest, especially in the contest, you want to make sure that you are speaking in third person throughout. But even at the club level, that is something that very much helps the audience, because it's a constant reminder that everyone can learn from this evaluation, not just Sarah. The final thing to remember in a speech evaluation is not to get too hung up on the technicalities. At the end of the day, remember your purpose. Your purpose is to help the rest of your club, specifically Sarah or whoever the speaker was, to improve in future speeches or learn from things that that individual could have done better. Therefore, that is why I made this separate video for a club evaluation, because I do believe it is different than a contest. A contest, it's sort of a selfish intent. You're putting on a little bit of a show with your evaluation, but at the club level, you still want to keep those fundamental skills. But at the end of the day, all that really matters is that that individual has some great feedback and can grow as a Toastmaster, and it's your job to help them achieve that. A final point I'll bring up before I wrap up this video is the idea of using notes, because in an evaluation, it's almost impossible not to. To some degree, you need to write down your thoughts so that you don't forget, and again, are able to give great feedback to that speaker. But there's a couple strategies to limit your notes so that you're not standing in front of the crowd reading a single page and not making eye contact yourself, because you still want to use that evaluation opportunity to improve your own public speaking skills as well. One thing I love to do is often there's a podium at the front of the room, of the Toastmasters room, and I will move it sideways, which seems a little bit funny perhaps, but I move it to the side and I still have my notes there. But that way it's not blocking my body language. So I'm just out in front of the crowd. People can see our room is kind of set up in a U shape in terms of the tables. And so I can still see there's nothing obstructing, but it also forces me to practice all of those things, to look at the group, to make eye contact. And then when I need to go back and check my notes, it's a slight look to the side. I take a look, make sure it's clear, not word for word writing, but just things like eye contact, good, or vocal variety needs improvement, something that jogs my memory of, I remember as I was writing this, what I was thinking and the feedback I have for Sarah. So I quickly reference it, and then I turn back to the audience and I can continue with my evaluation. Minimal use of notes, it's very, very tough to do in an evaluation, but it is incredibly effective, and it will be that much stronger, especially if you're speaking from the heart and not bogged down on not able to read your writing word for word. That's not an effective evaluation. You want to reference those notes as minimal as possible. I hope this video was beneficial to you. I hope that you are encouraged to go sign up for more speech evaluations and practice your skills, because by signing up for this role, you are helping others in your club become better speakers. And at the end of the day, that's what Toastmasters is all about. I really hope this video gave you a little bit of value. If you did enjoy the content, subscribe. Subscribe to my channel. There's going to be a lot more videos like this talking about various aspects of the Toastmasters program. Also, other videos about impactful communication. I even have a series on how you launch a podcast for those people who really want to take their skills to the next level. So make sure you subscribe, go check out the videos already on my channel, and I'll catch you on the next one.